Hey everyone, welcome back to RJK English, or we could call it RJK Hindi. So I'm going to go over this book that I wrote, Devanagari Primer for Non-Hindi Speakers. But by going through these videos, you will have gone through this. If you do want to get it, it is, let's see, how do I do this? There we go. It is on Amazon. You can get it under my name, Alexander Rediger. But let's go through this. So please see the original video. It will give you some overview of how the book works, some overview of why you may want to learn Devanagari. There are some other people that teach this very well as well, but I will teach it in my way. So we're going to start with the vowels. And let me give you a little bit of an idea of Devanagari first. Let's talk about just the word Hindi. Okay, so if we write the word Hindi, some people say Hindu. This Hindu is the religion of India, a religion of India, Hinduism, and a person that is a follower of one of the many types of Hinduism is called a Hindu. The language is Hindi. It's very related to Urdu, which if you are interested in Urdu, I also have a book on that, and hopefully I will do a video series on that as well. But let's look at the word Hindi. I'm going to write it in Devanagari, okay? Okay, so we can already tell that it's very different from this. We will call this Romanized script. Why do we call it Romanized? Because we got our letters from Latin. So we call it Romanized script. Okay, Hindi. This says Hindi just like this does. But let's break down the letters in this, okay? And this is going to give you an introduction, one, into how we write Hindi, but also the fact that the vowels are different when they're individual versus when they're written in the word. So here are all the letters we're using. H. I, or I, but I. Hi. N. N. D. I'm going to put an, that's how I'm going to write when it's an E versus an I. I is short, E is long. So this is all the letters together here. But when we connect them, the letters become different. Notice that I and E are very similar to each other. Sorry, my cat is jumping up and down. That's Hiroshi. Hello, Hiroshi. So I, if we want to make it E sound, we would just add this little curve on top, right? So Hindi is very scientific. It's quite brilliant. And if you look at Hindi, you can basically pronounce it correctly. There are some oddities. Let's look at how it's connected together. Recognize this H here? Ha, ha. Now, where is the I? It doesn't look like this, does it? No, it becomes this line that actually comes before the ha itself. So this is a unit here, and it's the unit hi, hi. Then the N has become a dot at the top. This is a kind of a nasal, right? A nasal is where we stop the air from coming through the mouth. We open up the nose, and the nose. This is where the actual sound comes up. Hindi. We can also write this with this N coming off of this D like this. You could also write it like that. But this is N, E. This right here is this E. You see the D here? D, E, Hindi. All right, that's how Hindi works. It kind of works as little units. So I couldn't just start writing Hindi like this. I start writing, oh, I'm going to write No. I have to think in units. He. I need to think he. He before I even start writing. Otherwise, I have to go backwards, right? Hindi. Hindi. All right? So that's the first lesson of how this works. Okay? And just to give you a hint, this isn't the only D in Hindi. There's a da, it's a soft da, Hindi. Almost looks like I'm going tha or the. It's a soft D. If you know Spanish, you will know this D. The. It's almost a the. Hindi. There's a hard D. Looks like this. It almost looks like the I. There's a hard D like this. Da. And this is a retroflex D. The characteristic sound of South Asia is the da, ta, ra. It is a retroflex, and we are going to go over all of the vowels next, and we're going to go over how they are pronounced. But this is just an introduction to how Devanagari works. Notice it hangs down from the line, whereas Romanized letters are written above the line, right? When you learned in school, you had these lines here like this, and you had to write within the line, above this one. Hindi. And sometimes words will go below the line, like a J or a G, right? Well, for Hindi, we're hanging from the line. Things that are above the line are usually vowel markers. Okay, so above the line are vowel markers, like E, I, E. Below are usually, in general, they're consonants. And usually they fit together into one unit like this. Okay, so I'll see you next time. I hope this is interesting to you. Bye.